And we are live on the wrong link. Maybe that's named the wrong thing. Can I update that right away? Josh Engleman here for Stochastic.com. Baseball time. And unfortunately for us, we only have one game. The Diamondbacks did away with the Dodgers. The Astros ended that series. The Braves got embarrassed. I don't expect to see a bunch of you here for the next 10 minutes or so, but we are going to talk quickly about this Atlanta Braves game, because I need them to save their season. If you're here, to the two of you that it looks like are here, this is a rough one for me. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. We got to talk a little bit about this game tonight. Spencer Strider on the bump for the Braves, trying to save Atlanta's season and send them back so we can get to Game 5. Ranger Suarez on the hill for Philadelphia. You know you're going to get a lot out of Strider. That's for sure. Braves are minus 154. Suarez and the Phillies plus 130. Total on the game, 8.5. Juice to the under a little bit. So call it like 8.2, 8.3, something like that. Should be fun. Morning, everybody. We got a couple people in the house, so that's good. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys right out of the gate. One, shout out to Owner's Box. But two, I don't mess around a lot with MLB Showdown. It's never really been a thing that I've paid too much attention to, mostly because in this general time when it becomes popular, I'm prepping basketball and I just don't have time to get into it. But we can talk it through. I've got our ownership projections up on the screen right now. I could probably make that a little bit bigger if that helps. Oh, I'm sure that helps a lot. So we've got ownership projections on the screen. That's the best that we could really hope for. And look, we're going to be here for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. This is going to be a quick one. There's just not enough for me to talk about. So let me hit on the schedule that we have for the rest of the day. I'm here for the MLB Strategy Show until we're done. NFL Strategy Show, Laffy and Eric, 11 a.m. They're going to go for like an hour and a half, probably. That's going to be a big one. Greg's back at 1:30 for the NFL Rainmakers Show. NHL Strategy Show at 2 p.m. Greg comes back again for the Owner's Box Show at 4:30. And then we get into the NFL. 2 straight hours of coverage for tonight. Chiefs, Broncos, Thursday Night Football. We're into Week 6. Greg and Eric are going to do the NFL Deeper Dive at 6:15. Laffy and Neil are going to be the NFL Live Before Lock crew. They'll take you all the way up from 7:15 to 8:15. I already have my NFL Contenders videos out for DraftKings and FanDuel. If you want to check them out, they are on this YouTube channel. Finish watching this show and then go check them out. So it's basically the Spencer Strider show for today, and I don't think anybody's going to be all that surprised by that. 12,600 for Strider. He is 65% owned, 29% at the captain spot. The next closest guy is Ronald Acuna at 8. So more than 3 times as much at captain than any other guy. I don't think anybody's going to be surprised to hear that. If Spencer Strider has an average Spencer Strider game, it's going to be hard to get away from him. 7.5 strikeout prop, minus 154 to the over. Even if he gets to 7, that's just going to be a really nice score. Now, the price tag will be problematic. But I think that if he has an average day, Spencer Strider is just absolutely involved. Whether or not he's in the captain spot or the utility spot, where he's also picking up 36% ownership, that's where it starts to get a little bit different. I love this, though. Like, I'm going to play this slate just because it's the Braves. Only thing I don't know is what time is this game? Is that tonight? I guess it could. Yeah, 8:07 start. That's not as fun. That's not fun at all. Okay, so if the Braves win today, then they play again Saturday in Atlanta, 8:07. Boy, oh boy, do I want that to happen. Oh, that would be great. Game 5 against the Phillies, man, my phone would be blowing up. I would be talking so much shit. Hold on, did I? That can't be right. Oh, no. Oh, I'm live with the football show on. Did I go live too early? Hope not. Of course. Sean V dive bombing into the end of the NFL strategy show just told Engleman yesterday the Dodgers were getting swept. What a hot take, man. This dude should be a millionaire. Do you realize that? Could you imagine having take after take and coming in and like trying to dunk on people, but then never succeeding in anything? It's got to be crazy. How can you have so many takes and be right so much, but not have anything to show for it? It's nuts. It's totally nuts. Anyway, let's get in past a little bit of Strider, because clearly I'm team Spencer Strider. I'm not going to be able to be like, I can't get my Braves fandom out of wanting to play Spencer Strider today. He's so clearly the best option. Even at 65% owned, Spencer Strider is the best play you're going to get to. But that's where it starts to get weird after that. Kevin Pillar, because he's 4,400, is your second most popular play. Brandon Marsh, Johan Rojas. I mean, those first three guys that aren't pitchers, not the fun side of playing Showdown DFS. Then you start getting into the more expensive Ronald Acuñas of the world. Orlando Arcia is only 5,400. That's not so bad, but Austin Riley's 8,200. You get to the more expensive Phillies like Harper, 8,600 for Harper, only 22% owned. Kind of difficult to get to. Laffy just said he assumed there wasn't an MLB show this morning. I'm outworking everyone, David Porter. You know I don't miss these things. Trust me, I would have given anything to miss this. As we're looking at it, though, look, it's not even just my fandom. Like, I clearly am leaning towards a Braves build more than a Phillies build today. They are the favorites. I think that makes some sense. I think you could probably find a little bit of value that isn't Brandon Marsh or Johan Rojas. I don't hate the idea of trying to buy like a low-ish owned home run from Philly and filling out the rest of the lineup with Braves. I think that makes at least a little bit of sense. I'm going to pull up Fantasy Cruncher right now and run a crunch and see what some of these lineups look like, and then we can get out of here. So let's do MLB DK Showdown. I'm going to grab our projections. I think I'm going to grab our projections at least. Yes, I am. Can I just bust that down into those columns? Yes. Oh, no, I want to keep name. Let's get rid of everything else. Perfect. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, Strider's 9 fantasy points ahead of Acuña. All right. So I've got projections locked and loaded. Let's see if we can switch this. Does this start sharing? Oh, that's quick. That's perfect. That's perfect. All right. So projections are in. Let's just see what the optimal looks like to start. Our optimal for tonight: Spencer Strider, captain; Acuña, Harris, Arcia, Pillar, Brandon Marsh. That shouldn't be all that surprising based on looking at this ownership. Pillar, Marsh, Acuña, Strider, we're all very, very packed at the top. Let's see what something looks like if we don't use Spencer Strider at captain. How do we look different without him at captain? So I'm going to uncheck Strider. And that immediately goes to Ronald Acuña. Now, if we look at the total points, 66.3 is our optimal lineup, and that has Strider at captain. You give up basically 3 fantasy points to remove the best lineup you can make. If you remove Strider from the captain spot, it's going to be 3 points less. So that's not so bad. Acuña in the captain spot, then Strider, Riley, Arcia, Rojas, Pillar. Basically the same lineup. You're just flip-flopping those two guys. Not too much of a difference here. But you are seeing immediately what an optimizer might get you if you're just running a crunch. Let's say this. I'm going to run 100 lineups. No changes, no stack rules or anything like that. The key takeaway that you should see here is that a Brave stack is the primary stack. 51 of the 100 lineups that I generated are 5-1 Brave stacks. The other 49 are 4-2 Brave stacks. So right out of the gate, if you can build a bigger Phillies stack, you're probably bringing in something that's a little bit more low owned. So Let's see what that looks like. What does a 4-man Philly stack look like for tonight? So let's say we're going to do a team stack, 4 players. We will uncheck Atlanta. So the best 4-man Philly stack, did I not actually add that stack? Seems like I didn't. No, I did. Why did that not? Okay, I'll do this a different way. Delete stack. Max players from team 2. All right. Here's what primary Philly stacks look like. Acuna captain, 53.1 fantasy points. So we're... Wow. We give up 13 fantasy points if we want the Phillies stack to be the primary, either a 4-man or a 5-man. Acuna captain, Suarez, Harper, Stott, Marsh, Rojas. Or if you want to get to this one, the 4-2, Acuna captain, Turner, Harper, Riley, Marsh, Rojas. But 52.7 projection is 14 fantasy points off the mark of the optimal. Keep that in mind. So 52.69 divided by 66.29. That is 79% of the optimal score if you want to go to the best possible, based on our projections, the best possible 4-2 Philly stack. Think about that when you're building your lineups, because imagine if I just let the crunch run, how long it would take to get to that Phillies lineup. That's why, 1, baseball is wild. 2, randomness changes the way that all of this stuff looks. Because you need, if you want to go to the Phillies, you need to drop your projected score to a level that is significantly lower than what you're seeing. And because this is baseball, like every guy in this lineup can homer. There's nothing that stops like that would stop you here. It's not like you're playing multiple, $200 type NFL plays. Like these guys are all going to get plate appearances. They could all smash. So you have to be willing to get away from the optimal score a little bit more than normal. But what a stark difference if you want to go to a Philly stack, how much you give up in projection. That's just, it's a testament to how good Atlanta is and how much people are going to overreact over a 5-game series. Whether the Braves move on and finish this in 5, whether the Phillies get rid of them today, the overreactions over this series, and I know Adam's been dealing with it in his Twitter DMs and messages, talking the same thing about Baltimore. The way that people will overreact to a 5-game series is just nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Is it frustrating? Yeah. But, all right, so chat, there's, 35 of you here? We have infinite time. We're not going to be here much longer. Sign up in Owner's Box. We got to talk about them quickly. Sponsor of the show. Click the link in the description. You're going to get up to $500 at Owner's Box in Owner's Box. So you put in 500, they're going to match with 500. You're also going to get our NFL Sims package for a week. That'll cover you for tonight for Showdown across DraftKings and FanDuel. Main slate on Sunday across all the sites. Sunday night, primetime, Monday night football. You're going to get a lot, and you're getting basically the best tool that exists in the industry. You can simulate 10,000 lineups against each other in mere minutes instead of the amount of time that it would have taken you previously to do something like this. It's the best detailed information you're going to get if you're trying to play DFS. Come check it out. Click the link in the description. Acuna, 154 average versus Sanchez in 15 appearances. David, please stop reading the back of baseball cards. What did I miss here, Ashton? Hedge the Braves on stacking Phillies. I mean, look, that's sort of how I'm looking at this game. I kind of want to run my crunch the way that I have it set up now. Let me put on a little bit of, let me make it so it has to be at least 4 Phillies. And I'm going to throw on like 25% randomness just to give it a little bit of wiggle. But as we look at this, yeah, and like this would be totally fine. This would be a perfect life hedge for me. I get to a ton of the Phillies, but ultimately I want the Braves to succeed. I would happily give up my entry fees just to have my favorite team win. But as you can see, if we want to force the Philadelphia Phillies to be the primary stack, either 4 or 5, you get to quite a bit of Brandon Marsh. You do find Bryce Harper to be the best pay-up option. It seems to me that Bryce Harper ends up looking like a better option than like Ranger Suarez, for instance. At captain, it still ends up being Acuna and Suarez at the top end. But if you want to go to a primary Philly stack, what you're saying is, I don't want to play Spencer Strider. You're immediately getting away from 65% of the field. Look, I didn't get a single Strider captain lineup, and Strider didn't show up at all in any regular spot. So there's 0 Spencer Strider in this crunch if you want to prioritize the Phillies. That should make a ton of sense, obviously. I like it, though. I think this is the life hedge, and I think this is the way I would want to play it. Given it's not going to be fun, but given the current ownership projections, I like the idea of trying to force Philly a little bit more because I don't think they're getting represented well when you run a crunch. Joseph, did you make a good choice going to Wheels Pizza in Wrightsville? Yeah, Wheels has solid pizza. For Wilmington, I would call it above average Wilmington pizza. I don't think it's the best Wilmington pizza. I could put you on to probably 2 or 3 other spots. But that is not a bad choice of pizza by any means. I would call it above average for Wilmington. Oh, David, you learn nothing while watching this show, do you? I was on Arizona and he was on the Dodgers. How'd that work for you? I don't care, man. It's one slate. I don't play for one slate and trying to figure out if I got my guesswork correct. What are we doing here? Oh my God. All right, guys, I don't know if I have anything else here. I think we kind of know what the best plays are for this showdown slate. And I think the answer is Brandon Marsh. 37% owned currently. And if you try to prioritize the Phillies, the best value option you'll find. Bryce Harper, though, man, I have a sneaky suspicion that he is going to rub our noses in it once again. Less is more. So Schwarber home run? I hope not. But, I mean, don't be like, what are his home run odds? It's got to be pretty good. Schwarber to homer is plus 300. That is the best home run odds of anybody today. Iglesias at 4K. I mean, I get it. You're obviously taking a risk, hoping that he'll be on the field. Like you obviously open yourself up to a 0 at that point. At that salary structure, it's not all that crazy. Probably not something that I would get to, but it's, you know, he'll have a 1 or 2% ownership rate. Alrighty, folks, we got 20 minutes out of this bad boy. Thanks for being here. To the 42% or 42 people that were here, love you guys for it. Obviously, no show tomorrow. There is no baseball. So enjoy your Friday. This is probably the last time you're going to see me talk about baseball. I didn't really think about this until right now, but let me look at it. Nope. Okay, so Monday will be the last time you guys see me talk about baseball. Full stop. Because there is no baseball tomorrow. I obviously won't be covering it Saturday or Sunday. Monday we'll be back for Rangers, Astros, and then Diamondbacks against the winner of this one. And then starting Tuesday, I'm off Tuesday to Friday for the week. So I won't be covering any baseball after that. And then the following week is the NBA. So we are not too far away from that. I will be here for all of your classic NBA coverage for anybody that is curious. Guys, thank you for joining me for this one. It's been fun. Go Braves. That's all that matters. Go Braves. Good luck, everybody. I'll see you guys Monday. Final MLB strategy show for me. Peace. I think peace. I wasn't ready to end this quite yet. Now I am.